Welcome to Daily Review, your daily dose of literary exploration. We dive into books that spark curiosity and ignite growth. While our passion often leads us to nonfiction reads that empower and improve your life, no book is off limits. From gripping thrillers to insightful memoirs and compelling fiction to historical accounts, we're here to share and discuss all the interesting reads we discover. Tune in for your next great book idea.
And today we're embarking on a particularly powerful and practical deep dive. We're zeroing in on Do It Today, Overcome Procrastination, Improve Productivity, and Achieve More Meaningful Things by Darius Foroux. This isn't just a collection of clever tips. It's a profound, actionable philosophy for truly taking charge of your time and your entire life.
Absolutely. So what's our mission for you, our listener, in this deep dive? We're going to really unpack Foroux's core philosophy, which is deeply rooted in personal responsibility and the precious nature of time.
Right. Then we'll dissect his practical, sustainable systems designed for battling that insidious beast we call procrastination and for truly boosting effective productivity.
And finally, we'll explore his insights on how all of this leads to achieving more meaningful things in your life, beyond just checking tasks off a list.
Exactly. Our sources for today come directly from the book itself, providing a rich, unvarnished look at his transformative ideas.
Okay, let's truly dive in. To kick us off, let's talk about the incredibly personal genesis of this book and the very real immediate frustration Darius Foroux faced that actually sparked its creation. It wasn't some grand, pre-planned literary endeavor.
Not at all. In fact, it started with a messy, infuriating problem. His email provider suddenly blocking him and labeling him as a spammer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he vividly describes being list-bombed. Essentially, spammers signed up countless fake emails to his mailing list, making it look like he was sending spam. This completely derailed his operations, especially after he just poured dozens of hours into migrating to this new provider only 10 days prior.
Oh, that's brutal. Imagine the frustration, your livelihood disrupted, your effort seemingly wasted through no fault of your own.
Right. It's the kind of moment that makes most of us want to throw our hands up in despair, or at least, launch into an epic blame game.
Here's where it gets really interesting and frankly deeply insightful about Foroux's personal transformation. Instead of getting upset, blaming the provider, or spiraling into victimhood, which he admits he absolutely would have done just 3 years prior, he simply moved on.
Moved on. Just like that.
Just like that. He pivoted immediately. He didn't waste a single moment stewing in anger. He just started writing this very book.
Wow.
Yeah, it was an immediate, almost instinctive leap into productive action right in the face of a significant, unexpected disruption to his business. This wasn't a philosophical musing for him. It was a real-time, real-life application of his core belief.
What's truly fascinating about that quick, decisive action is how he frames this do-it-today philosophy as the culmination of his entire life's learnings. It wasn't an overnight revelation, but shaped through years of dedicated reading, continuous journaling, and prolific blogging.
So it built up over time.
Exactly. He directly connects this immediate action to the undeniable, non-negotiable reality of life's finite nature. This is an abstract thought. It's a profoundly personal and pragmatic realization. The core concept he drives home is that time is not replenishable.
You can't get it back.
Never. Every second you invest or neglect to invest is time irrevocably gone. His core message then becomes a powerful and almost confronting truth. What you do today determines where you will be in a year, 2 years, and even 10 years from now.
That puts a lot of weight on today, doesn't it?
It does. It's not about waiting for a grand, perfect moment. It's about understanding the relentless, compounding effect of every single daily action, no matter how insignificant it might seem in the moment.
And he really challenges us to look beyond the mundane necessities of life, like just paying bills or cleaning the house. He asks us to genuinely examine how we invest the majority of our time, the time that, when you zoom out, truly sums up our lives.
Yeah, where does it actually go?
Exactly. He recounts a powerful anecdote about his enduring takeaway from the cult classic movie Fight Club. A line stuck with him since he was a teenager, around 13 or 14. You are not your job. You're not how much money you have in the bank.
Iconic line.
Totally. This single line profoundly inspired his journey towards independence, making him question the traditional societal definitions of self-worth that so many of us internalize. It makes you pause and think, doesn't it? What does define us, if not those external markers?
That's a truly profound challenge, isn't it? If we strip away those conventional markers of identity, our jobs, our bank accounts, our possessions, then who are we truly?
Right.
Forough spent years wrestling with that very question, and his profound answer, arrived at through years of meditation and self-reflection, is simple yet revolutionary. We are our actions, and our actions reveal our character. That's who we are.
Our actions, so it's about what we do.
Precisely. He acknowledges the irony, of course, that for most of us, we do spend the majority of our time earning a living, trading that precious finite time for money. It's a necessary part of navigating modern life.
Sure, you have to pay the bills.
Of course. But the critical distinction he makes is whether we're merely trading time for money to survive, or whether we're consciously, intentionally using that time today to build a better tomorrow for ourselves and for those around us. It's about choosing how you allocate your most precious, non-renewable resource, your time.
So what does this all mean for us, the listener, in a practical sense? Forough isn't just an armchair philosopher. He absolutely practices what he preaches. He shares a list of important things he makes sure he does today, every single day, no matter what happens or what unexpected challenges arise.
And it's not just work stuff, right?
Not at all. It's about a holistic approach to life. His list includes reading, exercising, investing, saving, spending quality time with loved ones, laughing, booking holidays, truly enjoying life, and yes, even the not-so-glamorous task of paying bills.
Gotta do those too.
Gotta do them. These are his non-negotiables, the consistent daily actions that, through the power of compounding, build the life he wants to live. It really brings home the idea that consistency trumps intensity every time.
In zooming out for a moment, the broader implication here is that this deep dive isn't about finding the latest trendy productivity hacks or quick-fix solutions. Forough explicitly states, the book is a collection of articles that I handpicked to help you get more clarity in life.
Clarity, that's the goal.
Exactly. He offers a deeply personal, yet universally applicable recipe for a good life. That, on the surface, seems deceptively simple. Get clear on what you want and eliminate everything else from your life.
Eliminate everything else.
That sounds tough.
It is, but that's the core. This book then serves as his meticulously structured path and blueprint for achieving that profound clarity and then taking consistent, meaningful action. It's about building an unshakable system for navigating your life, career, and even your personal relationships, making sure every day counts towards your true desires. Okay, let's shift gears then. Let's delve into the first major section of the book, which is dedicated to overcoming procrastination. Forough doesn't waste a second before diving into the myriad of excuses we all, myself included, invent for putting things off.
Oh yeah, the excuses.
He admits to the familiar internal monologue. I told myself I was tired, or that it could wait until tomorrow. And he rattles off a whole host of common excuses that probably sound painfully familiar to you too. It's my old laptop, the office is too loud, people keep calling, I never have time.
Been there, done that, all of them.
Right. These are all the external factors we so easily and often conveniently blame. It's a classic move, isn't it? Blame the circumstances, not the choice.
What's truly fascinating here is how he immediately challenges those external blames. Forough states unequivocally, battling procrastination is an inner battle.
An inner battle, not external.
Exactly. He goes as far as to compare these external excuses to literally allowing external things to enter your mind and take root there, controlling your actions. This raises a crucial question about personal responsibility. Are you the master of your mind, or is it a battleground for every distraction and excuse?
That's confronting.
It is. He recounts his own experience in 2013, feeling profoundly stuck in his career. He was doing freelance work, busy work even, but consistently avoiding the uncomfortable work, the truly difficult, high-leverage tasks required to make his venture truly take off.
The stuff that actually matters but feels hard.
Precisely. Instead of confronting those challenging tasks head-on, he found a job, an escape route. He bluntly calls this escaping work. It powerfully highlights that procrastination isn't always about laziness. It's often a sophisticated strategy for avoiding discomfort or fear of failure.
He really frames procrastination not as a lack of things to do, but as knowing exactly what you need to do, but simply not doing it. Instead, you opt for mindless browsing, endless online shopping, or any number of trivial tasks that offer a fleeting sense of busyness without actual progress.
Busy but not productive.
Exactly. He's incredibly honest, even admitting he still battles this when writing a new book. He finds himself seeking relief in answering emails, reading articles, getting coffee, or working on recurring administrative tasks. anything truly to avoid the deep, uncomfortable, and often intimidating work of creative writing.
Even the experts struggle. That's kind of comforting, actually.
It is. It's a constant inner struggle, isn't it? Even for someone who literally writes about overcoming it, it reminds you that it's a human condition, not a personal failing.
And that struggle connects directly to Stephen Pressfield's profound concept of resistance from The War of Art, which Foroux quotes directly. Resistance is always lying and always full of shit.
Ha! Love that directness.
Me too. The core idea is that procrastination, or resistance, always promises tomorrow. It whispers sweet nothings about an elusive future where you'll magically have more willpower, more time, more energy, or the perfect conditions. It's a seductive lie that keeps you from taking action today.
I'll start Monday.
Exactly. It's why we put off the gym until Monday or that big project until next quarter. It preys on our desire for ease, blinding us to the compound cost of inaction.
So, how does Darius Foroux, a self-proclaimed former unproductive person who used to give up quickly and feel perpetually stuck, manage to overcome this constant battle? He relies on a sustainable system, not just random one-off hacks.
A system? Okay, I'm listening.
He meticulously breaks his strategy down into a 5-part system that he consciously uses for living a productive, happy, and truly purposeful life. First, he intensely exercises his mental toughness every single day.
Mental toughness. How does he do that?
He admits he used to neglect his brain, being mentally weak and prone to overthinking everything. So he intentionally started reading deeply about stoicism, pragmatism, and mindfulness, anything that helps him control his thoughts and build mental fortitude.
So reading to train the brain?
Exactly. His goal, not to be a slave to his thoughts, but rather the opposite, to choose what thoughts he entertains and which ones he discards. This isn't about ignoring emotions, but about consciously directing his mental energy.
Okay, that's part one. What's two?
Second, he exercises his body every single day. He discovered a direct correlation. When he neglects physical activity, he becomes restless, lacks focus, his energy plummets, and his confidence takes a hit.
Mind and body connection. Makes sense.
Totally. By consistently training both his brain and his body daily, he considers himself always war ready, emphasizing that overcoming procrastination, much like a soldier preparing for battle, starts before the actual work begins by building a foundation of resilience.
Okay, mental toughness, physical exercise. What's third?
Third, he cultivates a set of daily habits that keep him in control. These are his non-negotiables. Journaling, reading, setting daily priorities, rigorously avoiding useless information like mindless social media scrolls, and crucially, ensuring human contact with friends and family every single day.
Wow, that's a solid list.
Yeah.
Human contact too. Interesting.
Yeah, he finds it keeps him grounded, prevents him from falling into the trap of unrealistic expectations about life, and fundamentally allows him to genuinely enjoy his days, regardless of external circumstances.
Got it. Number four.
Fourth, he always has a ready list of small, important tasks. This is a brilliant tactic. When he feels that familiar pull to escape difficult work, say, writing a new book, he doesn't just succumb to distractions. Instead, he opens this specific list and tackles one of those small, important tasks today.
Oh, that's clever. Like a productive escape hatch.
Exactly. It's a way to maintain momentum, to feel productive, and to achieve something valuable, even when the bigger, more intimidating work is proving elusive. It's about redirecting, not just giving in.
Okay, and the fifth part of the system.
And fifth, he diligently studies and practices the science of persuasion. This might seem unexpected in a productivity system, but it's crucial for Foroux.
Persuasion. Why is that important for productivity?
Well, he learned from a mentor that you can be the best at something, but if no one knows about it, you can't make an impact. This skill helps him craft better pitches, write compelling cover letters, design more effective website copy, and send more persuasive emails, ultimately ensuring his message gets across and his work finds its audience.
Ah, so it's about making your work effective out in the world.
Precisely. It's about effectively communicating the value you create. He stresses that this entire framework isn't magic or a secret formula, but a sustainable, repeatable system. It took him time to build this foundation, and it's not always easy. It requires discipline.
Sure, it sounds like real work.
It is, but it's about developing a consistent, supportive structure for his entire life, his career, his business, and his personal well-being. So it prompts the question for you, the listener. What's your system for a productive and truly fulfilling life?
That's such a powerful takeaway, and it leads us beautifully into how we can maintain focus amidst a sea of distractions. Foroux offers two incredibly practical yet profound strategies for when he finds himself saying, I can't focus.
Okay, what are they? We all need help with focus.
Right. The first strategy is deceptively simple. Eliminate, eliminate, eliminate. He talks about how we instinctively accumulate stuff, and he means not just physical objects, but also a relentless pileup of ideas, projects, and work that feels never-ending.
Mental clutter as well as physical.
Exactly. He shares a very relatable example from his own journey. Many people kept suggesting he make YouTube videos. And like a good learner, he tried. He invested significant time and strategic thinking into it, planning content, recording, editing, even sourcing music. He even published a video that received positive responses.
So it was working, kind of.
Kind of. But he quickly realized that this new endeavor consumed an enormous amount of his time and attention, pulling him away from what he loved, and was genuinely excellent at writing, podcasting, and creating courses. This diffusion of focus led to frustration and a tangible loss of productivity.
Ah, the opportunity cost.
Precisely. His breakthrough solution. He made the conscious, difficult decision to eliminate YouTube from his focus, simplifying his life by asking a potent question. What things should I eliminate to make my life so simple that it's easy to focus?
That's a brave question to ask.
It really is. And this strategy applies not just to projects, but to ideas, digital clutter, unnecessary meetings, or anything that creates unnecessary mental baggage.
Okay, eliminate. What's the second strategy for focus?
His second strategy is to think about past success, which he explained provides a natural serotonin boost. He actually delves into the neuroscience here, making it incredibly accessible.
Neuroscience. Okay, intriguing.
Yeah, he explained how remembering positive events, like achieving a goal or overcoming a challenge, actively stimulates serotonin production in a specific part of your brain called the anterior cingulate cortex. This region, nestled just behind your prefrontal cortex, is directly involved in controlling attention and decision-making.
So remembering good times actually helps you focus.
That's what the science suggests. The impact of serotonin is far-reaching. It reduces feelings of depression, increases libido, stabilizes mood, helps regulate sleep patterns, lessens anxiety, and crucially for productivity, plays a vital role in regulating delayed gratification.
Delayed gratification, that's key for avoiding procrastination.
Absolutely. Foroux explains that low serotonin levels often lead us to give in to short-term pleasures, like constant phone checking, excessive drinking, or mindless shopping, because our brain seeks an immediate, albeit temporary, reward.
Okay, so how do you apply this?
So his practical application is a simple yet powerful mind exercise. When you feel your focus wavering, consciously recall positive past events. It's a natural internal way to boost your serotonin and, in turn, sharpen your focus and willpower. It's literally using your brain to help your brain.
I love that. Using your own past successes to fuel present focus. And he doesn't pull any punches when he challenges the listener directly, almost provocatively.
No, he doesn't.
He says, no, it's not normal to check your phone every 2 minutes. No, it's not normal to gossip all the time. No, it's not normal to be bored. He points out that so many people just drift through life without even acknowledging that they have problems or that their behaviors are counterproductive.
Just accepting the status quo, even if it's bad.
Right. They normalize things that aren't serving them. The solution, he states with refreshing directness, is not to blame external factors or wish for magic. It's to first acknowledge the problem, to admit, yes, I can't focus, or yes, I procrastinate, and then, and only then, to act decisively on it.
Own the problem, then own the solution.
Exactly. If you can't focus, admit it, and then implement a solution, just like with that email problem he had. It's about taking ownership.
That thread of ownership is crucial, and it brings us to the scientific understanding of procrastination itself. Foroux highlights its surprisingly long history, citing figures like Herodotus, Leonardo da Vinci, and Benjamin Franklin, all of whom recognized procrastination as a pervasive enemy of results.
So it's not a new problem.
Far from it. He particularly resonates with Abraham Lincoln's timeless quote, "You cannot escape the responsibility of tomorrow by evading it today." He shares his own candid past as a college student, admitting to relaxing throughout the semester, only to descend into a frantic freak-out a week before exams, relying on Red Bull and all-nighters.
The classic student strategy.
Totally. And this, he points out, is exactly what research shows. It's short-term relief, followed by long-term suffering. He references a highly cited study by Diane Tice and Roy Baumeister, which profoundly details the significant costs of procrastination.
What are the costs?
It's clinically linked to depression, irrational beliefs, low self-esteem, chronic anxiety, and stress. The study even considers it a sign of poor self-regulation, drawing uncomfortable parallels to serious issues like alcohol and drug abuse due to its insidious, self-sabotaging nature. It's far more than just being lazy.
Wow, that's serious.
It really is. Foroux then illustrates the common journey of a procrastinator with a powerful concept he calls the start to chaos visual. It begins, as most things do, with a clear idea or a well-defined goal, a pristine start.
Okay, starting clean.
Right. But as time inevitably progresses, that initial clarity descends into a tangled mess. This mess represents the onslaught of distractions, the allure of other tempting ideas, the emergence of new, seemingly urgent opportunities, the fear of failure, and the relentless, debilitating negative self-talk that infiltrates our minds.
Everything gets tangled up.
Exactly, the predictable result. Nothing ever truly gets done, or at least nothing meaningful is completed to its full potential. It's a slow, agonizing death by 1,000 distractions.
That's a bleak picture.
It is. And he further illustrates this downward spiral with what he calls the slope of procrastination. You begin a task feeling excited and focused, full of good intentions. But then you give in to one distraction. It could be reading the news for just a second, or watching just one episode of a show, or mindlessly browsing social media.
That one little slip.
Exactly. This single, seemingly innocent distraction acts as the tipping point. It leads to a cascade, a domino effect, and before you know it, you give up being productive entirely for that session or even that day. That one thing isn't just a minor slip. It's the moment you lose momentum and succumb to unproductive habits.
It's a very vivid and, for many, a very familiar picture of how a day can derail. So given all that, what does this actually mean for us when it comes to effectively beating procrastination?
Well, the core insight from that Tyson-Baumeister study is incredibly revealing. Procrastinators, rather than working at assigned tasks, tend to enjoy themselves until the rising pressure of imminent deadlines forces them to get to work.
Waiting for the panic button.
Pretty much. This, Foroux emphasizes, exposes a critical flaw, a dependency on externally imposed forces to motivate work. We tell ourselves we'll finally write that novel in 3 weeks, or that we'll be mentally strong, disciplined individuals. But when the actual, often uncomfortable work arrives, we cop out.
We avoid it.
Yeah. Foroux notes that this pattern holds true for both small, everyday tasks and huge, life-changing projects. Procrastinators simply possess an ingrained belief that things can wait until later. It's almost a faith in a magical future self who will be infinitely more capable.
And that future self rarely shows up on time.
Exactly. And that leads to an important question. If our reliance on willpower is so often overestimated, what actually does work? Foroux states it clearly in a way that should make us all rethink our approach. Willpower doesn't work. Systems do.
Systems over willpower. That's a huge takeaway for Daily Review listeners.
It really is. He argues that many people actively avoid routines, systems, and established frameworks because they mistakenly believe these things stifle their freedom. But in reality, if you genuinely want to achieve meaningful things and get consistent results, you don't need boundless willpower every morning. You need clear, defined rules and systems that guide your actions.
Okay, so what kind of tactics make up a good system?
He lists several research-backed tactics for building an effective productivity system that bypasses the need for raw willpower. Things like self-imposed deadlines to create internal urgency.
Like setting your own deadlines.
Right. Also, accountability systems, telling friends or a coach what you'll do. Working in intervals, like the Pomodoro technique.
Short bursts of focus.
Exactly. Daily exercise, at least 30 minutes, for energy and focus.
Yeah.
A healthy diet, obvious but crucial and foundational. Eliminating distractions. Removing temptations reduces the need for willpower.
Makes sense. Block the websites, turn off the phone.
You got it. But crucially, he emphasizes the most important element, internal motivation. He explains that without knowing why you're doing something, without a deep-seated purpose, even the most annoying or challenging tasks remain unbearable.
The why behind the what.
Absolutely. They won't stick because they're not part of a bigger, compelling picture. His practical advice here is profound in its simplicity. Take a step back. Truly think about your why. And if you don't have a clear why yet, he provocatively suggests make something up.
Make something up. Really?
Yeah, invent a purpose, because having any driving force is better than none. Once you have that inner drive, then, and only then, build a system that consistently supports it. He concludes, it's not rocket science, it's simply science.
That's a huge shift in perspective, isn't it? From the never-ending grind of willpower to the strategic power of systems. And that leads us perfectly into part 2 of his book, where he delves into improving productivity.
Right, moving beyond just fighting procrastination.
Exactly. Darius Foroux immediately challenges a common misconception that many of us fall into. The idea that productivity simply means getting a lot of stuff done. He makes a crucial distinction, one that resonates deeply with our goal here at Daily Review. The difference between productivity and effectiveness.
Busy versus effective.
Precisely. Productivity, he explains, means you're busy, you're checking things off, you're getting a high volume of tasks completed. But effectiveness means getting the right things done, the things that actually move the needle, that produce meaningful results.
Results are the key.
Ultimately, yes. He stresses results are what truly matter most. If you're working 50 hours a week, but you're seeing no real growth, personally, emotionally, or financially, then you're not actually being effective. You're just busy running in circles doing what he calls useless work that doesn't bring you any closer to your desired outcomes.
Motion without progress.
That's it. It's a stark reframe, separating motion from progress.
To help us become genuinely more effective, he introduces a powerful, practical exercise he adapted from Peter Drucker's classic, The Effective Executive. Foroux modified it slightly to make it even more accessible and easier to apply for anyone.
Drucker is a legend. What's the exercise?
The first step is Know Thy Time, which involves keeping an almost brutally honest activity log. You simply cannot manage your time effectively if you don't actually know where it goes.
We think we know, but we probably don't.
Exactly. Our memories are notoriously unreliable. He advises keeping an hourly record for at least 2 weeks, preferably a full month, using a visible pen and notepad. This forces you to confront exactly how you spend every waking hour.
Okay, track everything. Then what?
The second step is to identify non-productive work. Once you have this detailed, unflinching activity log in front of you, you go through every single recurring activity and ask a simple yet incredibly potent question. What would happen if you would stop doing them?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Isn't it? If the answer is all hell breaks loose, meaning it's critical for your job or life, then it's an essential activity. But if the answer is a clear, undeniable, nothing would happen, meaning zero negative consequences, then you've just found a time waster.
Activities with zero meaningful return.
Right. They are effectively pointless. The third step is brutally simple. Eliminate the time wasters. As straightforward as it sounds, this direct action forces a profound awareness of pointless behaviors that have likely become deeply ingrained habits.
Cut them out.
Just cut them. By regularly performing this exercise, perhaps a couple of times a year, you can continually track your time, identify new time wasters that creep in, and systematically break those unproductive habits. It's about becoming profoundly aware of your choices and then consciously, relentlessly cutting out the non-essential from your life.
He then pulls back the curtain on his own deep personal struggles, admitting with refreshing candor, I'm an unproductive person.
Really? The productivity guy.
Yeah. He confesses to sleeping too much, talking too much, reading too much, perhaps a bit ironically for us, watching movies and buying gadgets. Yeah. He makes it clear that any productivity he achieves comes entirely from his meticulously built system.
Without the system, he'd struggle too.
That's what he believes. He then details a highly relatable list of 10 habits of unproductive people and, crucially, how to actively avoid them. First, working too much.
Working too much, isn't that productive?
Not sustainably. Foroux learned, like so many driven individuals, that while he could theoretically churn out 12, 13 hours straight for a few days, it always led to a big inevitable crash. He'd struggle, become unable to get even simple things done, and completely lose the desire to work.
Burnout.
Exactly. He realized he needed to be more calculated, aiming to stop at the height of his day, much like Ernest Hemingway famously advised, leaving some creative energy in the tank. This preserves his mental capital for stressful times and ensures long-term stamina.
Stop when you're still going strong. Interesting. Okay, what's second?
Second, worrying too much. He openly describes himself as the king of the what-if game, constantly absorbed in paralyzing, self-defeating thoughts like, what if I go broke? Or what if I lose my job?
That's a huge energy drain.
Totally. This self-absorbed thinking is a productivity killer. He urges us to pause and realize the immediate reality. You're not going to die right this second. It's about consciously learning to stop the unproductive loop of worry and redirecting that energy towards doing something genuinely useful instead.
Easier said than done, but crucial. Number 3.
Third, being stubborn. While stubbornness can be a valuable trait for ignoring critics and pushing through adversity, Foroux argues it's incredibly frustrating and self-sabotaging in relationships, which, let's be honest, are the very foundation of both our personal lives and careers.
Yeah, collaboration needs flexibility.
Right. Refusing to work with others, to compromise, or to listen to new perspectives fundamentally undermines everyone involved. He tries to constantly remind himself that unchecked stubbornness can be a significant detriment.
Okay, avoid stubbornness. Fourth.
Fourth, checking things. This refers to the mindless, compulsive consumption of information. Endless news feeds, social media scrolls, constantly refreshing stats. He considers checking not a real action, but simply passive consumption with no tangible outcome.
Just consuming, not creating or doing.
Exactly. He realized there was zero return from constantly checking his blog stats or his phone, his radical solution. He deleted all news and social media apps from his phone and doesn't even have email on it.
Wow, no email on the phone. That's bold.
It is. He advises picking only one or two checking vices that you genuinely enjoy and ruthlessly eliminating the rest, arguing you're truly not missing anything important anyway.
Okay, fifth habit to avoid.
Fifth, escaping life. In the past, his default response to stress or problems would be, I need a drink, or I have to go on vacation. He'd pretend problems at work or in relationships didn't exist, hoping they'd magically disappear.
The avoidance strategy.
Right. But he soon realized that escaping only provides temporary stamina. Problems never truly go away until you grab them by the root and extinguish them through direct action. Now, he faces problems head-on, dealing with them before they escalate and fester.
Confront, don't escape. Makes sense. Number 6.
Sixth, saying yes to everything. He points out a profound truth here. If you constantly say yes to every request, every opportunity, every demand, you're effectively living someone else's life, not your own.
You lose control of your own time.
Exactly. He's a strong advocate for being in full control of your most precious resource, your time, by consciously saying no to a million things and yes to a few things that truly matter to you and your core objectives.
Learning to say no. Crucial skill. Seventh.
Seventh, not writing things down. Foroux calls relying solely on memory stupid because it wastes incredibly valuable brain power that could be used for higher-level problem-solving or creative thinking.
Offload your brain onto paper or screen.
Right. Writing down thoughts, ideas, tasks, or even just daily reflections, whether through formal journaling or simple notes, effectively unloads your mental RAM, freeing up your cognitive capacity for more important work.
Okay, eighth.
Eighth, being hard on yourself. He challenges the self-defeating cycle of unproductive self-criticism. I suck. He offers a wonderfully simple, powerful perspective. You got out of bed this morning, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations, you survived this hard thing called life. Be proud.
Huh. A little self-compassion goes a long way.
It really does. His point is that everything you accomplish after simply getting out of bed is a win, and you should celebrate that instead of constantly tearing yourself down.
Love that. Number 9.
Ninth, neglecting your personal education. He laments the cunning belief that learning magically starts after school or university. He counters with a powerful, almost stark statement, your life stops when learning stops.
Keep learning. Always.
Always. He stresses the paramount importance of continuous self-investment through books, courses, and videos, arguing that this perpetual learning leads to more productivity, greater adaptability, and genuine excitement about life.
Okay, and the final one. Number 10.
And finally, 10th, hating rules. He admits he used to think rules were dumb and that he was some kind of maverick, but now he sees rules as absolutely essential for productivity, providing a crucial freedom and constraint.
Freedom and constraint. How does that work?
He quotes advertising creative director Josh Weltman, who states that solving a problem requires a weird combination of freedom and constraint. The good news, Foroux says, is that you make up the rules for your own life.
Ah, self-imposed rules.
Exactly. His personal examples include rules like never complain, read and exercise every day, and close the day by setting priorities. These self-imposed rules, when combined, form the backbone of his highly effective system.
Those self-imposed rules are critical, and they lead us nicely into one of his specific rule-based rituals. A meticulously crafted 30-minute evening routine designed to prepare him for a productive next day.
An evening routine. Okay, tell me more.
It's designed to ensure he wakes up focused and ready to go, rather than scrambling. The first 10 minutes, from 0 to 10 minutes, are dedicated to closing the day. He makes it a non-negotiable to journal about his accomplishments, what lessons he's learned, and anything memorable from the day.
Reflecting on the day.
Right. This simple practice helps him solidify his actions, reflect on his progress, and build self-awareness. He quotes the great Jim Rohn, who famously said, "The results should either applaud you or prod you." It's about bringing definitive closure to the day.
Okay, 10 minutes journaling. Then what?
From minute 10 to minute 20, he reviews tomorrow's calendar. This is absolutely essential for knowing precisely what the next day entails, all the important meetings, critical calls, looming deadlines, scheduled workouts, or pressing personal items.
Planning ahead reduces morning stress.
Exactly. By visually scheduling time to tackle unsolved problems the next day, he significantly reduces that nagging stress and anxiety that often stem from uncertainty. It's about making a conscious decision to leave complex problem solving for when your brain is fresh.
Smart. Okay, minutes 20 to 25.
From minute 20 to minute 25, he prepares his outfit for the next day. This might seem like a trivial task, but it's a remarkably strategic move to conserve what he calls brain juice for more important decisions in the morning.
Combating decision fatigue.
You got it. You know that feeling at the end of a long day where even deciding what to cook for dinner feels overwhelming? That's decision fatigue. Foroux removes those minor decisions earlier, freeing up mental bandwidth for what truly matters when he's at his peak.
Makes sense. And the last 5 minutes.
And finally, from minute 25 to minute 30, he visualizes the next day. Based on the groundbreaking work of Charles Duhigg on habit formation, he mentally walks through his entire day in vivid detail, leveraging the fact that he's already reviewed his calendar.
Mentally rehearsing the day.
Precisely. This detailed visualization, done right before sleep, actively combats hitting the snooze button in the morning and provides immediate focus upon waking, because he already knows exactly what needs to be done to make the day a success. It's like mentally pre-gaming for a win.
That evening ritual sounds like a game changer for so many people. And another critical component of his system, one that feels particularly relevant in our hyper-connected, notification-saturated world, is the strategic disconnection from the internet.
Ah, yes, the constant connectivity battle.
Right. He points out a pervasive and often insidious problem. Technology, which is supposed to serve us, frequently ends up using us rather than the other way around. Every app, game, video platform, and social media feed is meticulously designed with sophisticated algorithms to keep our attention locked in.
Designed to be addictive.
Totally. He echoes the ancient Roman philosopher Seneca, who wisely stated, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." The constant onslaught of notifications and endless content, Foroux explains, leads directly to more stress, higher frustration, and a pervasive sense of time pressure, leaving us feeling scattered and drained.
So what's the solution? Just unplug.
Pretty much. His profound solution is a deliberate disconnection. He argues that too much of anything, even good things, is detrimental. Just as too much exercise can lead to injury, or too much food leads to discomfort, too much internet consumption is fundamentally detrimental.
The all-you-can-eat buffet analogy.
Exactly. You inevitably overstuff yourself and regret it later, feeling sluggish and mentally bloated. His practical implementation involves a radical yet liberating shift in attitude from always connected to always disconnected.
Always disconnected. How does that work practically?
On his phone, Wi-Fi and mobile data are off by default, only turned on when explicitly needed for a specific task or communication. On his laptop, he actively uses blocking apps like Self-Control or Focus Me to restrict access to distracting sites during his focused work periods, while intelligently allowing essential cloud services to remain connected.
Wow, data off by default. That takes discipline.
It does, but the benefits he reports are profound. It significantly reduces the urge to constantly check his smartphone, email, or the news. This brings a deep sense of calmness and mental clarity, allows him to achieve demonstrably more, feel less distracted, and ultimately have more time and mental energy for things that genuinely make him happy.
More calm, more focus, more time for real life.
Exactly. He confidently states, looking back, "I will not look back and regret that I didn't spend enough time on the internet," contrasting it with the empty, regretful feeling of having wasted countless hours on meaningless digital noise. It's a powerful statement about conscious choice.
That's such an important point because it raises an even deeper question. Why do most people procrastinate in the first place? Foroux argues it's not primarily about poor time management.
Not time management. What is it then?
While he's tried every productivity hack and system imaginable, he states unequivocally that they are all useless when you compare it to doing meaningful work.
Meaningful work. The passion piece.
Exactly. This is a truly profound nugget of insight. He claims his entire relationship with procrastination fundamentally changed the moment he started doing what he genuinely loves, writing. He asserts that work is not bad at all, and if you Find yourself constantly struggling with procrastination, it's a strong signal that you're likely not passionate about the work you're doing.
So the hacks are just band-aids if you hate the work.
That's his argument. In such cases, productivity hacks become largely ineffective band-aids. He powerfully echoes Ryan Holiday's sentiment about reading. Quote, if you find yourself wanting to speed up the reading process on a particular book, you may want to ask yourself, is this book any good? Life is too short to read books you don't enjoy reading.
And he applies that to work.
Directly. Life is too short to do work you don't enjoy. He challenges us to seriously ask ourselves, if we regularly procrastinate on something, are we truly passionate about it or just obligated?
That's a tough question for many people.
It is. He does acknowledge an important nuance here, citing Ramit Sethi's point, that passion can actually grow as you become truly proficient and skilled at something. So productivity tips can improve output, but doing meaningful work is presented as the best, most sustainable long-term solution for combating procrastination.
Find the purpose, not just the process.
Yeah.
So what does this all mean for us?
Foroux distills it powerfully. He sees consistent procrastination as a clear, undeniable sign that you might be doing something that's simply not meaningful to you. It's your internal compass screaming for a different direction.
It's a signal.
Exactly. He wisely brings in the enduring wisdom of Benjamin Franklin, who succinctly put it, you may delay, but time will not. It's a stark, almost chilling reminder that while we can choose to put things off, the clock continues its relentless march and our finite life is continually slipping away.
That hits hard. Time keeps moving.
Always. And that concept of time slipping away brings us to a subtle but powerful enemy of productivity that often masquerades as diligence. Perfectionism.
Perfectionism, the double-edged sword.
Right. Foroux doesn't mince words, arguing provocatively that if you're a perfectionist, you're just a procrastinator with a mask.
Wow, that's a strong statement.
It is. He equates it to being lazy and doing nothing at all because at the end of the day, he says, life and work are ultimately about tangible outcomes and concrete results. A perfectly conceived but never executed idea is effectively nothing.
Done is better than perfect, basically.
That's the spirit. He meticulously outlines perfectionism's insidious dangers. Constantly waiting for the right moment, a crippling fear of mistakes, needing just a little more time. This cycle leads to anxiety, worry, even depression. He aptly quotes Jack Kirby, perfectionists are their own devils.
They create their own torment.
Precisely. Foroux identifies two primary types of perfectionists, both equally destructive. The one that never starts, paralyzed by fear of imperfection.
Too afraid to even begin.
And the one that starts but has too high standards, setting unrealistic goals and constantly feeling like a failure.
Always falling short of their own impossible standard.
Right. He highlights the concerning link between perfectionism and chronic worry, citing research suggesting this combination prolongs threats and creates an overwhelming overload of problems. This feeling of helplessness leads people to give up entirely.
So how do you break free from that?
While acknowledging some studies link certain types of perfectionism to achievement, Foroux asks how we achieve goals and at what cost. He introduces the liberating concept of learned resourcefulness as the skill needed to stop self-sabotage.
Learned resourcefulness, what does that involve?
It involves actively self-regulating emotional and cognitive responses during stress, using practical problem solving, and consciously delaying gratification for larger future rewards. It's about resilience and adaptability.
Okay, being resourceful instead of perfectly stuck.
Exactly. He presents a powerful visual, the sweet spot analogy. Imagine it as the productive intersection of perfectionism and slacking, with resourcefulness as the enabling factor spanning both.
So not a slacker, not an extreme perfectionist.
Right, and the slacker doesn't care, settles for good enough. You need to care. The sweet spot is approaching work with dedication and a desire for excellence, but without being overly fixated on unattainable ideals.
How does the resourceful person react when things go wrong?
Instead of OMG, this is the worst, perfectionist, or I don't care, slacker. The resourceful person simply says, I've got this. It's about adjusting, problem solving, and building robust systems rather than endlessly beating yourself up. It's about progress, not perfect.
I like that. I've got this. That idea of learned resourcefulness is so vital for anyone tackling a big project, especially when it comes to learning. And speaking of learning and applied productivity, Darius shares an impressive personal goal, reading 100 books a year.
100 books, that's a lot.
It is, and it's a tangible example of his system in action. He asks, why read so much? His answer, to learn from others' experience, quoting Bismarck. Fools learn from experience. I prefer to learn from the experience of others. Continuous education is essential.
So how does he actually do it? What are his strategies?
He shares 5 meticulous strategies. First, buy in bulk. Having a substantial inventory of books eliminates excuses. Don't overthink the next read. Just have options readily available.
Make it easy to grab the next book.
Exactly. Second, always be reading, ADR. Adapting the sales motto, always be closing. He commits to a minimum of 1 hour per day, more on weekends.
Using those small pockets of time.
Right. He calculates it simply. 50-page hour by 10 hours a week while eating, waiting, while everyone else is wasting their time.
Okay, ABR. Third strategy.
Third, read relevant books only. This is liberating. Don't force yourself through books you don't enjoy or find relevant now. Life's too short. Read what excites you or applies to your current goals.
Permission to quit books. Nice.
Fourth, read multiple books simultaneously. No rigid rules. He often reads 5 at once, switching between dense reads when focused and easier ones like biographies or fiction to unwind. Match the book to your energy.
Flexibility in reading. Okay, and fifth.
And fifth, arguably most important, retain knowledge. Knowledge is only valuable if used. His system involves active reading, notes, highlights, key insights only, page folding. Then, after finishing, review notes, summarize in own words, copy quotes. The ultimate emphasis is applying the knowledge.
Active reading for application, not just consumption. That approach to reading is truly a system of learning designed for impact. And another surprising productivity booster he advocates for, one that feels counterintuitive, is the strategic taking of vacations.
Vacations boost productivity. How?
He uses a simple analogy. Recharge your phone, refuel your car. You must do the same for your body and brain. Working and living is demanding. Schedule time to genuinely rest and recover.
Makes sense. Recharge the human battery.
Exactly. Research shows well-planned vacations decrease job stress and burnout. But there's a paradox. Simply taking time off itself doesn't linearly boost productivity, but having fewer working days forces you to be more effective and urgent when you're working.
The constraint makes you more focused.
Right. The crucial caveat is that stressful vacations negate all benefits. A bad vacation can be worse than none.
So, how to have a good, stress-free vacation?
He offers practical tips. 1, if you're a planner, plan, but stay flexible. Don't force yourself to go with the flow if that's not you, but build in room for spontaneity.
Okay, plan, but don't overschedule.
2, make a daily movie. A creative way to force focus on the present. Look for moments for your personal daily movie. Be more engaged, less worried about home.
I like that. Be present. What else?
3, read a lot. Like Bill Gates' Think Week. Reading slows time, deepens perspective, stimulates thought, makes vacation feel richer.
A reading vacation sounds good to me.
Me too. And 4, get bored. A favorite strategy for new ideas. Instead of grabbing your phone, embrace boredom. See where your mind wanders, like Andy Warhol. Try it when you hit a creative wall.
Embrace boredom. Interesting.
He powerfully addresses the never a good time excuse for vacations. He argues forcefully for scheduling strategic breaks before burnout. Life's a marathon, not a sprint. Play the long game.
Prevent burnout proactively.
Exactly. And zooming out, he finds resting eventually gets boring, which naturally leads us back to wanting to be productive and useful. Our innate drive reasserts itself after true rest.
That makes perfect sense. Our natural inclination to create eventually overcomes the desire for endless leisure. And that leads us beautifully into part 3 of his book, Achieving More, moving beyond daily tactics to a broader life philosophy.
Really the bigger picture.
Right. Darius starts with a common dilemma. Don't know what you want. He directly challenges the societal pressure that makes us feel inadequate for not having our exact life path figured out. He calls this a thinking error.
It's okay not to know everything.
That's his point. He advocates for us to genuinely accept uncertainty. Life is unpredictable. We don't have all the answers. He quotes Eleanor Roosevelt. If life were predictable, it would cease to be life and be without flavor.
Embrace the unpredictability.
Yeah. He shares how he learned writing and website building years before knowing he'd use them for his blog, his insight. Know your direction, not necessarily your exact destination. Have a clear vision of where you generally want to go. Contribution, enjoyment, rather than a rigid endpoint.
A compass, not a map.
Exactly. He echoes J. Abraham. Your first priority is to identify what you want and then make sure you take the path that's going to give you that. Set a heading, not a precise coordinate.
That's a powerful distinction. Direction over destination. And it naturally raises an important question. What do you actually do while you're figuring out your ultimate direction?
Right. What do you work on in the meantime?
For You brilliantly suggests focusing on improving universal skills. These are skills with enduring value, regardless of your path, foundational building blocks.
Okay, what are these universal skills?
He identifies 7. 1. Self-discipline, ignoring the negative voice, doing hard things, agency over impulse. 2. Personal effectiveness, maximizing results from your waking hours, doing more effectively.
Discipline and effectiveness. Got it.
3. Communication, both art and science, crucial for working with others in relationships. 4. Negotiation, getting the best deal for all parties, a constant life skill.
Communicating and negotiating.
5. Persuasion, ethically getting what you want, influencing others, moving people to action. 6. Physical strength and stamina, basic human function, lifting your own weight, having energy for life.
Persuasion and physical health.
And 7. Flexibility, combating desk work stiffness, focusing on mobility in hips and lower back.
And what's truly remarkable about those 7 skills, expert, is that if you genuinely commit to mastering them, they are more than enough to keep you busy, growing, and immensely valuable for an entire lifetime.
Absolutely. They're evergreen skills.
One of the most counterintuitive but profoundly impactful pieces of advice from Foroux is to leave the office on time and don't take your work home.
That goes against the grain in many places.
It really does. He fundamentally challenges the prevalent perception is reality culture, where long hours are valued more than results. He calls this pathetic, contrasting it with his family business where leaving when priorities are done is encouraged. Focus on results, not hours.
Results over FaceTime.
Exactly. He backs this up with research showing working too long is unproductive and harmful, linked to depression, sleep problems, impaired memory, heart disease. This drives his 2 core rules.
What are the rules?
1, leave on time. Know when to quit, even if you love your job. The office will be there tomorrow. Protect yourself from the trap of working too much.
Set that boundary.
2, leave your work at work. Crucial. Don't bring it home physically or mentally. Make a conscious decision to relax and engage fully in non-work activities when you leave. Create a clear boundary.
Protect your personal life. That's a liberating perspective, particularly in our always-on culture. And to zoom out a bit, he emphasizes that indeed very little is truly needed for a happy life. Quoting Marcus Aurelius, it is all within yourself, in your way of thinking.
It makes you wonder why we work ourselves ragged for external things.
Right. Why push ourselves for money, status, fame, which don't bring lasting happiness? He suggests it's about protecting ourselves from our own stupidity, setting clear rules for our well-being, like boundaries for children.
Self-imposed regulations for well-being. That concept feeds directly into his next principle. Consistency is key. Improve by 0.1% every day.
Tiny improvements adding up.
Exactly. This is pertinent when handling mistakes and uncontrollable events. When things go wrong, we stress over what's not in our control. Stoic philosophy teaches focusing only on what we do control, our actions and mindset, desire, attitude, judgments, determination.
Focus on your response, not the event itself.
Precisely. His practical application. Mistake. Correct it. Something wrong. Find a solution. Expect bad things so you're not caught off guard. And crucially, never complain. Accept reality, focus on solutions, stay proactive.
Why does this boost productivity?
Because it fosters consistency. Productivity isn't about eureka moments or all-nighters, it's the relentless pursuit of daily progress. He states unequivocally, inconsistency is the enemy of results. Striving for just 0.1% daily improvement creates sustainable, powerful growth.
Slow, steady, inevitable progress. That's a truly pragmatic approach. But this constant push for daily progress often leads to common advice, that growth always means stepping outside your comfort zone. Foroux challenges this.
He challenges the get out of your comfort zone mantra.
He does, particularly the diagram showing a small comfort zone and a magical circle where the magic happens outside it. He calls the idea that magic only happens outside ridiculous. He fervently declares he loves his comfort zone.
He loves it. Why?
He describes it as a place of safety, family, friends, fulfilling work, hobbies, everything he loves. It's from this secure base, he argues, that he feels more open to trying new things and taking calculated risks. It's a launching pad, not a cage.
Build a secure base first.
Exactly. He believes in a slow road to magic. He shares his own journey. Degrees, businesses, corporate job, building experience before becoming a writer-podcaster. It took over 10 years. Blood, sweat, and tears, not a sudden leap.
Gradual progress, not a giant jump.
Right. He advocates working from comfort. Build savings, valuable skills, strong relationships, invest in self-improvement first, and stay true to yourself, Don't pretend to be someone you're not.
So comfort and growth.
Yes, we need both. Keep moving forward daily, even tiny steps, without feeling compelled to make huge, unsustainable leaps.
That's a profoundly refreshing perspective. Build a solid base to explore from. And speaking of building, Foroux discusses the power of belief. Not just platitudes, but a practical tool.
Belief is a tool. How so?
He argues belief is underutilized. We decide what we believe, and as William James said, belief will help create the fact. Our beliefs actively architect our future.
Careful what you believe them.
Right. He warns against fear-based beliefs. Life sucks. I'm not good enough. No one loves me. These exist because we choose to believe them, often unconsciously.
Self-limiting beliefs.
He shares a personal story. Being told he couldn't make a living as a writer led him to a safe road in business. This turned him into a fearful creature, stopping him from believing, writing, even reading. He challenges us. What opportunities are we missing due to fear-based decisions?
Makes you think. How did he shift?
Discovering pragmatism revolutionized his thinking. He realized not believing in himself was useless. It yielded nothing positive, so he consciously decided to believe he could live the life he wanted.
A conscious decision to believe.
Yes, his outcome. Most things I believed are facts now, and the other stuff I believe will one day become a fact. He asserts, if your mind can conceive it, you can achieve it. For him, it's a practical, lived reality.
That shift from passive fear to active belief is truly transformative. And building on that personal belief, Foroux extends this to our actions in the world, advocating for an abundance mindset encapsulated in don't compete, create.
Create, don't compete. Interesting.
He challenges conventional business school wisdom, emphasizing fierce competition, market share battles, zero-sum games. He calls this limited thinking, assuming scarce resources where one's gain is another's loss.
The scarcity mindset.
Instead, he champions an abundance mindset, quoting Wallace D. Wattles. You are to create, not to compete for what is already created. You do not have to take anything away from anyone. He believes life is abundant, pointing to human history. Mankind consistently moves forward, innovating and growing.
Betting against growth is betting against humanity.
Exactly. He encourages embracing the belief there's enough opportunity for everyone, a powerful application. Creating your own career. If you can't find the right job, create it.
Like the chief happiness officer example.
Precisely. Someone saw a need and created value. He stresses ignoring naysayers stuck in limiting beliefs. His call to action, create, create, create. There's ample opportunity if you use your creativity.
That's a truly empowering message. Move from a fixed pie to an expanding one. And underlying all these actions and beliefs is one fundamental principle. All strength comes from repetition.
Repetition of the basics.
Right. Ignoring basics is a mistake. Mastering them is the non-negotiable foundation for enduring success. He uses the athlete analogy. UFC champion Daniel Cormier attributed success to having the basics in order. Applies to everything. Writing, selling, leading, finances.
Solid basics are essential.
And repetition is the only way to improve them. Lifting weights for physical strength, mental exercises for mental fortitude mastery comes through diligent practice. He quotes Pressfield again. Build internal strengths like self-reliance, self-discipline through practice.
Building strength through repetition.
He challenges the arrogant belief, I already know that, stating those who think they know everything are the biggest losers. He advocates perpetually staying a beginner, constantly revisiting basics. That's what gets you great and keeps you great.
Like Muhammad Ali said about repeating affirmations.
Exactly. It's the repetition that leads to belief. And once that belief becomes a deep conviction, things begin to happen. Foroux rereads Stoicism, elements of style. He revisits business purpose, not just money.
But be careful what you repeat, right?
Crucial warning. Be mindful of repeating bad or wrong things. Don't take advice from those who haven't done it. His ultimate goal, be great, stay great, through consistent foundational repetition.
That idea of continuous foundational repetition is truly the bedrock. So if we bring all these insights together, philosophy, systems, mindset, what does a meaningful life look like? Foroux explains how I measure my life.
Okay, how does he measure it? Not money or status, I assume.
Correct. He challenges conventional metrics. Genuinely successful thinkers, he observes, often look at three profound interconnected core factors: energy, work, and relationships.
Energy, work, relationships. How are they connected?
It's a feedback loop. High physical energy, good mood clarity. Better, effective work, satisfaction contribution. Better, deeper relationships. He quotes Clayton Christensen. Relationships are key to long-term happiness.
Makes sense. How does he measure each one?
Measuring energy, purely how he feels physically, daily exercise, Weights, running, walking, and eating well, no processed food sugar, are fundamental. When he maintains these, energy is high.
Physical well-being first.
Measuring work, not income or status, but learning potential. Success correlates to how much you learn and keep learning. Education never ends. More learning, more contribution, more income, knowledge plus action is key.
Learning potential. Interesting metric. And relationships.
Measuring relationships. Focus solely on your contribution of time and energy, not what others do. He quotes Wayne Dyer. How people treat you is their karma. How you react is yours. Focus on what you control: your effort, time, presence.
Take responsibility for your side of the relationship.
Exactly. If it doesn't improve after your best efforts, maybe it wasn't meant to be. It's a holistic approach centered on self-control and consistent contribution to these three vital areas.
That's a powerful, self-directed way to measure a life well lived. And he concludes this section with a truly provocative idea: why you should live like you're immortal.
Live like you're immortal. Isn't life short?
That's what he challenges.
Yeah.
The popular life is short, or YOLO mindset, he argues, often leads to short-term gratification, impulsive spending, partying, hindering long-term building and lasting value. It can lead to nothing meaningful.
So what's the immortal mindset?
It's figurative. Imagine you live forever. What changes? You'd have all the time to build something substantial. You could afford mistakes and learn without pressure. You'd treat people with respect. They're around forever, too.
A long-term perspective shift.
Right. He quotes Marcus Aurelius. Think of yourself as dead. Now take what's left and live properly. For Foroux, living properly means being satisfied. Chasing shiny objects left him unsatisfied. Thinking about future Darius, saving, investing, health skills paradoxically led to more present satisfaction.
Investing in the future brings present peace.
Exactly. Life's finite nature gives urgency. The immortal mindset provides perspective. It's a balance.
That blend of urgency and perspective is key. And it brings us to his ultimate unifying principle, the power of compounding. You can achieve anything if you stop trying to do everything.
Compounding. Like interest. But for life.
Exactly. The problem. Long lists of goals, trying too many things simultaneously leads to being spread too thin. We have limited time and energy.
So the solution is focus.
Yes. Focus on one thing at a time. He learned this in high school, studying for exams. Immerse in one subject fully before moving to the next. Learn faster and better. Applies this laser-like focus to projects today.
One major project at a time.
Right. He aligns with the One Thing authors. Success is sequential, not simultaneous. Things add up, layer by layer. Learn one skill, build on it, finish one project, move to the next. Over time, accomplishments compound.
Especially true for money, like the Buffett example.
Absolutely. 99% of Buffett's wealth came after 50. Not luck, but consistent small actions compounded over decades. Same applies to skills, health, cyclists building strength over years, relationships. Shortcuts don't exist.
Focus, work consistently, and let compounding do its magic.
That's the core. Focus on one thing, see the bigger picture, put in the work, and it will happen. The magic is in the accumulation.
Wow. What an incredibly dense and valuable deep dive into Darius Foroux's Do It Today. This isn't just about tactical productivity. It's truly a whole philosophy of intentional living, a blueprint for designing your life rather than letting it happen to you.
Absolutely. If we step back from the specifics, the broader implication here is crystal clear. True, sustainable progress comes not from chasing external hacks or relying on sheer brute force willpower, but from diligently building robust, consistent systems.
Systems rooted in self-awareness and responsibility.
Exactly. Systems rooted in self-awareness, personal responsibility, and embracing a long-term compounding mindset. It's about prioritizing effectiveness over mere busyness, embracing the inevitable inner battle against resistance, and relentlessly pursuing meaningful action, even in tiny daily increments.
We've learned that overcoming procrastination is fundamentally an internal shift, a change of mindset and system, not an external fix. That true productivity is about being effective, about doing the right things, not just staying busy.
Right, and that achieving more meaningful things in your life is a gradual journey, built brick by brick on consistency, deliberate focus, and a profound, unwavering belief in your own ability to create lasting value.
It's about transforming our approach from a reactive, chaotic existence to a proactive, system-driven life where you are truly in charge.
Yeah, from the conscious act of eliminating distractions to strategically taking rejuvenating breaks and consistently investing in universal foundational skills, Foroux provides a comprehensive blueprint for a life where you're not just surviving, but truly thriving and consciously building the future you desire.
So, for you, our listener, here's a thought to mull over long after this deep dive ends. Considering everything we've unpacked today about transforming your approach to life and work, what is one sacred cow, one habit, one deeply held belief, or one external influence you currently allow to drain your energy or attention that you are now willing to eliminate, starting today?
And thinking about that, what incredible new possibilities would that single act of elimination make possible for you?
Thank you so much for tuning in to Daily Review. We truly appreciate you joining us for your daily dose of literary exploration. Your support means the world to us and helps us continue to share these amazing books with you.
If you're enjoying what you hear, please consider taking a moment to subscribe, rate, like, and comment on any of the platforms you're listening from. This really helps support our channel and allows us to get better and bring you even more great content.
If today's review sparked your interest and you're ready to dive into a copy of the book, please consider using the link in our description to make your purchase. Not only does it make it easy for you to get your hands on the book, but it also directly supports our channel and the author, allowing us to keep bringing you more great content. Thanks again for being a part of the Daily Review community.